They didn't even bother to hide it. 3 black garbage bags, split at the seams, my clothes spilling onto the gravel like roadkill. My old guitar was leaning against the gate, rain soaking into the wood. And there she was, my mother, arms crossed, a cold smile. My younger siblings standing behind her, mimicking her posture. "You're 25. Get out now," she said, like she'd been rehearsing the line for months. The wind carried the smell of wet leaves and something else, burnt bridges. I didn't argue, didn't plead. I just smiled, slow and deliberate. Picked up my keys, got into my car, and drove away without looking back. She thought that was the end. She had no idea it was just the opening scene. I wasn't the easiest kid, I'll admit, but I'd spent my life trying to earn my place in that house. Extra chores, extra hours at my job to help with bills, birthdays spent not on my terms, but hers. She had this talent, making love feel like a loan I could never fully repay. When I turned 25, I thought maybe things would change. I'd been promoted at work, had savings, was ready to move into my own apartment. But instead of support, she gave me ultimatums. And when she realized I wouldn't bend, she broke me out of her life like bad news. That day at the gate was when something in me switched. In the first weeks after, I kept my head down. Stayed in a small rental 2 towns over. New job, new phone number, no updates to anyone in that house. I'd learned from her. Distance makes people nervous. Silence makes them paranoid. And while I disappeared from her world, I quietly built my own. I worked overtime, bought a small condo in cash. I knew money was the one thing she respected, the one weapon she never expected me to wield. 6 months passed. Then the first message came. "Where are you?" Then another, and another. By the end of the week, there were 60. Calls, voicemails, some angry, some desperate, all ignored. Curiosity eventually got the better of me, so I listened to one voicemail. Her voice was shaky. "Your uncle passed. We need help with the funeral expenses." Ah, so that was it. The thing about people like her, they don't see you as a person. You're either a tool or a threat. I had stopped being the first, so she had to reel me back before I became the second. But I wasn't going back to the role she'd written for me. This time, I was the author. I waited a full week before answering. My reply was polite, neutral, almost warm. I told her I'd think about coming by. She took the bait, invited me for dinner, promised a fresh start. When I pulled up to the house, nothing had changed. Same porch light, same cracked driveway. But the air felt different. She greeted me at the door like nothing had happened, hugged me, acted like those garbage bags had been a figment of my imagination. Dinner was awkward. She talked about family, about how we all need each other. My siblings stayed quiet, eyes darting between us. Then came the pitch. The funeral bill was higher than expected. Times were hard. She hated to ask, but I let her finish. Then I leaned back, calm. "You know, 6 months ago, you told me I wasn't part of this family. You made it very clear." Her smile twitched. "I didn't mean—" I raised a hand. "You did, and I took you at your word." The room went still. I could feel the tension clawing at the walls. "I don't owe you," I said quietly. "Not money, not time, not loyalty." Her face hardened. "After everything I've done for you!" I laughed, low and sharp. "Everything you've done for me came with strings, and I've cut every single one." I stood, placing an envelope on the table. She snatched it, probably thinking it was cash. But when she opened it, she found photocopies, deeds, statements, proof of my condo purchase. Her eyes narrowed. "What is this?" "That," I said, "is what I've built since you threw me out. Alone, without you. You can't touch it, You can't claim it, and you'll never see a cent of it." She tried to speak, but I didn't give her the chance. "You taught me something valuable," I said, stepping toward the door. "You taught me that family isn't blood, it's who shows up. And you," I glanced back at her, "you showed me the exit." I left her standing there, holding papers she couldn't spend, watching the only person who used to bend to her will walk away without a second glance. I drove back to my place in silence. No music, no calls, just the hum of the road and the taste of closure. Her messages slowed after that, then stopped entirely. Sometimes I imagine her telling the story to someone, how her ungrateful child abandoned her, how I became cold. She'll never mention the garbage bags at the gate. She'll never say I learned my ruthlessness from her. And that's fine, because I don't need her version of the story. I have mine, and in mine, I win.